The rain poured down in heavy sheets, flooding the narrow alleys of the old town. Thunder rumbled in the distance, but the cries of a young boy broke through the storm. His voice was weak, trembling but determined. "Please, sir, I'll heal your legs if you promise to take care of my brother." The man slumped against the crumbling wall, drenched in rain, looked at the boy with disbelief. His legs, twisted and useless for years, had been his prison. Doctors had given up, family had abandoned him, and hope was nothing but a cruel joke. Yet here was this ragged orphan, barefoot in the mud, making an impossible promise. The boy's eyes, wide and earnest, glimmered in the dim light. He held the tiny hand of his younger brother, no more than 6, who clung to him tightly. Hunger was etched into their thin faces, clothes torn and patched 100 times. They had no one in this world, and yet he spoke with a conviction that felt heavier than the storm itself. The man wanted to laugh, to push them away, but something in the boy's tone, something pure, unshakable, pierced through his bitterness. He had once believed in miracles. Perhaps, just perhaps, this was one standing before him. "Your brother," the man croaked. His voice was dry, unused, coated with years of despair. "Yes," the boy said firmly. "He has no one else. If I can heal you, will you protect him when I can't anymore?" The man frowned. "And what about you?" The boy hesitated, eyes shifting toward the storm. Then quietly he whispered, "I don't matter, only he does." The words stung the man more deeply than the cold rain. A child, offering his life away for his brother's future. The man had lost faith in people, but this boy still gave, still believed. The boy knelt down and pressed his small hands over the man's legs. His palms were trembling, his breath uneven. He closed his eyes and with a faint whisper, almost like a prayer, he began to hum. At first nothing happened. The man sighed, anger rising. But then a warmth spread through his bones, subtle but undeniable. For the first time in years, he felt his toes twitch. A shock ran up his body. The boy's little frame trembled as though the effort was tearing him apart, but he did not stop. Pain surged, sharp, burning pain, as nerves and muscles awoke from their grave. The man gasped, clutching the boy's shoulders, his eyes wide with disbelief. The rain blurred around him as he moved, his legs shifting under his own power. The boy collapsed forward, pale and exhausted, while his younger brother cried out and held him. "Brother, wake up!" The man's heart pounded as he stood, legs shaky but alive. Tears ran down his cheeks, mixing with the rain. It was real. He could walk again. The older boy opened his eyes, weak but smiling. "Now you can take care of him. Promise me, please." The man knelt beside him, voice breaking. "I promise, but you're coming with us, both of you." The boy shook his head faintly. "No, not me, just him. He deserves a life. I've given all I have." But the man would not accept it. He had been given a second chance, his life restored by the sacrifice of a child. He would not let that gift be buried in rain and despair. He scooped both boys into his arms and carried them away, his legs trembling but strong. For the first time in years, he felt alive. And for the first time, the 2 orphans had someone who refused to let them go. Days passed. The man, whose name was Elias, brought the boys to his home, a large house that had long felt like a tomb. He had once been a successful craftsman known for creating beautiful furniture. But after the accident that paralyzed him, his work ended. Friends drifted away. His wife left. Hope vanished. Now laughter and small footsteps filled those empty halls. The younger brother, Liam, found joy in every corner, running around with wide eyes at things he had never seen before. The older boy, Daniel, remained quiet, weak from his effort that night. But Elias saw something in him, a strength hidden beneath exhaustion. "Why did you do it?" Elias asked one evening, sitting beside Daniel by the fire. "Why give everything for me, a stranger?" Daniel looked at his sleeping brother, curled up on a chair with a blanket too big for him. His voice was soft. "Because I know what it feels like to have no one. My parents died when Liam was just a baby. I promised them I'd protect him, even if it cost me everything." Elias' chest tightened. He saw himself in Daniel, the weight of promises, the burden of love. "You didn't just heal my legs," Elias said gently. "You healed my heart, and I won't let that go to waste." Life slowly began to change. Elias reopened his workshop, his hands once again shaping wood into beauty. He taught Liam small crafts, letting the boy's imagination run wild. Daniel, though still fragile, helped where he could. But the gift Daniel had, the strange power to heal, did not go unnoticed for long. Word spread in the town. Whispers turned to curiosity, curiosity turned to greed. People came to the door, begging, demanding, offering money, some even threatening. One night, men with harsh eyes and cruel smiles came. They wanted Daniel. Elias stood firm, blocking the doorway. "He's not for sale. He's a child, not a tool." But they would not leave. They tried to push past, anger flashing. Elias fought back, his newfound strength unshakable, but he was outnumbered. Just as the struggle grew desperate, Daniel stepped forward. "Stop," he cried. His small voice carried more weight than steel. "I won't heal anyone who forces me. My gift isn't for greed, it's for love." The men sneered, but something in his words froze them. Perhaps it was the way his eyes burned with truth, or the way Elias stood beside him, unyielding. Eventually, muttering curses, they retreated into the night. Elias turned to Daniel, fear in his eyes. "You don't have to face them. You're just a boy." Daniel shook his head. "If I hide, they'll never stop. But if I show them that my gift isn't about power, maybe they'll understand." Elias wanted to argue, but deep inside, he knew Daniel was right. This child had more courage than most men he had ever known. Months passed, and Daniel's name spread, not as a miracle worker for the rich, but as a boy who gave hope to the broken, who healed wounds not just of flesh but of spirit. People came not to demand, but to ask humbly, to seek kindness. Daniel helped where he could, never for gold, always for the sake of love. And through it all, Elias kept his promise. He raised Liam as his own, gave him education, safety, and dreams he never thought possible. Daniel, though weaker each time he used his gift, smiled whenever he saw his brother laugh. That was enough for him. But one evening, as the sun set in golden hues, Daniel collapsed after healing a dying child. His breaths came shallow, his skin pale. Elias and Liam rushed to his side. "Brother," Liam cried, clutching his hand, "please don't leave me." Daniel forced a faint smile. "I told you I'd protect you, and I did. You're safe now." "No," Elias shouted, tears streaming. "You can't leave. You gave me back my life. You gave us all hope. I won't let you go." But Daniel's eyes softened. "Elias, you promised me, remember, to take care of him when I couldn't anymore." Elias broke, his voice trembling. "Yes, I promised, but I need you too. We both do." Daniel's hand grew cold, but his smile lingered. "Then live, for both of us, for him. That's all I want." And with that, his eyes closed, his breath fading into the quiet of the night. Years passed. Liam grew into a strong young man, guided by Elias' steady hand and the memory of his brother's sacrifice. He studied medicine, determined to help others, not with gifts of miracles, but with knowledge and compassion. Elias' workshop thrived once more, filled with light, laughter, and the echoes of a boy who had given his all for love. On the wall above the fireplace hung a simple carving, two brothers holding hands, carved by Elias himself. It was a reminder that love is the greatest power, stronger than greed, stronger than fear, stronger even than death. And whenever Liam felt doubt, he would look at that carving, close his eyes, and hear his brother's voice again. "I'll heal your legs if you promise to take care of my brother." A promise that had changed everything. The story of Daniel, Elias, and Liam became a quiet legend in the town. People didn't remember them for wealth or fame, but for sacrifice, love, and the unbreakable bond of family. And so the boy who gave his all lived on, not in flesh, but in every act of kindness inspired by his memory. Because sometimes the greatest miracles are not the ones that heal bodies, but the ones that heal hearts.